your name is KiD RAiN.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you explain why you chose that name, if that's okay?
Yeah. So for the last five years, I've been preparing for the project. I was going to be called another name, which was Astro Kid, and then at the last minute, I decided I didn't want to be called that.
Okay.
And but I like the kid at the end of it. So my last name is Reynard. So I just took the kid and then just stuck with KiD RAiN, and then that's what we went with. It was literally 5 days before the first single came out. I changed the name of the whole thing. So yeah, now and that's what it is.
Are you can I ask if you have like a thing against the letter I, because it's like capitals and then you have like I's like little. I don't know.
I just thought I would like to give you some intellectual important reason, but the truth is I thought it looked cool, so I just went with it.
It does. I was trying to decipher it a little bit, but
I thought you could maybe people could put X's over the I's and stuff like that. You know, it's a bit more fun to work with. But no, there's no intellectual reason, unfortunately, why I did it.
No, that's fine. I mean, I like it. So your real name is Dan Reynard.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you switch between alter egos? Like, do you have days where you wake up as KiD RAiN and then days where you wake up as Dan Reynard?
Yeah, I think so. I think if we were different egos, we're still very similar. But I just didn't want to be I didn't want to be like that straight down the middle acoustic singer-songwritery English boy Dan Reynard. Like there's so many of them. I wanted to try create something a bit different, and that's why the music's so in your face, and I thought I need to have a character to go with that rather than just Dan Reynard, you know.
It's a bit like a superhero character or something in a way. That's how I feel.
Well, that's your words, not mine. If you think I'm a superhero character, then I will take that. Thank you.
So your songs, I've listened to them. Bored of Love, Say Yes, and Live for the Weekend. I think my favorite would be Bored of Love. But I've noticed you have this very high energy to your music. It's very, I mean, words like bop and things are kind of associated with. But can I ask what you try to go for in your music? For example, is there a sort of specific thing you're trying to create?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are really afraid of the word pop, especially when you're unsigned or anything between 18 and 24. People are really scared of the word pop because they think it makes them uncool. So everyone just tries to make this cool music. And I love cheesy pop music, and my constant battle is to try and make my music not sound like Disney, because every time I write a song, it comes out and my manager goes, Dan, this just sounds like a Disney song. So that's kind of a battle I always have, but I'm just not afraid of the word pop. So that's why there's always just constant just energy all the way through the song, because I'm not afraid of people going, oh, this is a bit pop, isn't it? Well, I like it.
That's certainly what I thought when I heard it, but I thought it was very interesting. I mean, I've heard the songs quite a few times now. Actually, they do kind of get stuck in your head, don't they?
Yeah, good.
So you've got a 1975 poster behind you. I think 1975 are kind of one of those examples of a band that's trying not to be pop, but sort of gets labelled as that. But I also felt like you had quite a sort of sort of funky energy, like Tyler the Creator or Eminem or something.
Right.
Do you have any central influences to your music?
Well, the 1975, hence why the posters unashamedly on the back of my wall, and every time I post a video on the internet, they are there behind me. But yeah, I mean, for songwriting purposes, my biggest influences are the 1975 and a man called Ryan Tedder, who is the front man of One Republic, who writes songs for loads of other people too. But again, like I said, I can get inspired from so many different, I would be watching a movie and a song would come on and I'd have to run get my guitar and write a song to it. So there's no real artist that I kind of focus on and listen to really. But if I had to pick one, it probably would be these four lads behind me.
Okay, well, I'm not too familiar with the 1975, but they have quite interesting lyrics, don't they? They're quite sort of like intellectual or sort of deep and meaningful in a way. I mean, I think I've noticed that in a little bit of your songs, or you, for example, like Live for the Weekend is quite sad in a way, because it's like, I want to be more than drink, women and drugs, fake people and love. Like, is that something that you think about when you're writing? Like, is there a sort of meaning that you're trying to convey? Is there like,
I think the fact that it's like, when you write with other people, you're always like, every line is debated in like a council. So if you want to get a lyric across in the verse, you have to approve it with the other songwriters in the room. But when it's just me in here, the reason why my songs come out so honest sometimes, like Bored of Love is brutal. If you were my ex-girlfriend, that song's brutal. You know, when I put that on the internet, people were like, God, I would hate to be the person that this is about. And Live for the Weekend, same as well. Like I was talking about, because it's the truth, you know, I was waking up on Sunday mornings, or, you know, during like when it was Freshers or whatever, during Freshers week, and I was waking up in the morning, I was like, what am I doing, you know? And I think if there was multiple songwriters in the room here, I would have had to fight to get those lyrics in, but because it's just me, I can just kind of write whatever I want.
I mean, Bored of Love was actually a very surprising song, because there's almost like an over saturation of like cheesy love songs, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that was quite like a sort of
a juxtaposition almost.
Yeah, I really like that song, and also the video where you're driving through North, is it North?
The Yorkshire Dales.
Yeah, because I'm actually from Yorkshire. Are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Harrogate. Where are you from?
Halifax. So
I was born in Bradford, so I'm kind of near. I can tell with your accent a little bit.
I just had to ask before I forgot. Did you go to university then, or?
No, so when I left school at 18, I was in a band, and we decided, instead of going to university, we were going to try to make it as a band. And then a few years ago, when we decided we didn't want to do that anymore, I built this studio and decided this is what I wanted to do, and started releasing my own stuff.
So have you been at that for a while now, or are you relatively
KiD RAiN, like the KiD RAiN thing is very new. Like the first song came out in June, so we're talking like 5 or 6 months in. But in terms of like writing music and releasing music, we're probably 10 years in, 11 years in.
Okay.
You know, so yeah.
So I read online that you toured with the New Hope Club. Is that right?
Yeah, so it was the Vamps, New Hope Club, and Harvey.
Yeah, I mean that's quite impressive, because like New Hope Club, the Vamps, and they're tied to things like One Direction and Shawn Mendes. Do you feel like you're sort of climbing up the kind of ladder in a way, or sort of like you are kind of involved in the mainstream music industry now? Like,
I feel like if I am on the ladder, I'm still clinging onto the bottom rod of the ladder.
I mean, but everyone likes an underdog, so.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm there. I think, you know, I had the introducing record of the week, and you know, labels of talking. So if I'm there, I'm just there. But that's okay. I like I said, I'm just happy to be putting out my tunes, and you know, whatever happens really with the music industry. But I'm just happy to be doing what I'm doing, to be honest.
I also noticed you have I noticed you did like a Kick It Like iCarly video in like 12 hours or something. That looked quite fun. Was that quite pressurized experience, or?
Well, talking about the word pop, that is by far the most pop thing I've ever done. But when Nickelodeon got in touch and said we want to do a collaboration, the first thing was just like, oh my god, Nickelodeon want to work with me. So it was like, I'll pretty much do whatever they ask. So they said, how about you do this challenge where you've got to make a music video and a song? And I was in Croatia at the time.
Yeah.
But luckily I had a little studio out there, like a tiny one, like a laptop and a little keyboard. But I thought I can't exactly say no. So I was like, right, we'll give it a crack. As soon as I got the email through saying we want you to write a song about Nickelodeon characters, I didn't even have to think about that line. I was like, it's going to be called Kick It Like Carly. That's what it's going to be called. I couldn't tell you the process I got to get there. It just, my brain just was like, that's what it's going to be called. It was very difficult to write the lyrics in the verses about Nickelodeon characters without it sounding so cheesy that you're going to vomit. So it was like to put SpongeBob into a song without people going, ugh, it was very difficult. But you know, at the end of the day, I was like, you know what, I'm writing a song for Nickelodeon. It's gonna be cheese. Let's just go for it.
Yeah,
so, you know,
kind of embrace that. I mean, my favorite lyric was when you're like, I eat crappy patties all day, which is or something. Yeah,
I was just like, why the hell not? Why not? Just go for it.
You have quite a distinct style as well. I've noticed in your videos, it tends to be sort of this dungarees look and headphones. Right. Do you go for anything intentionally, or do you think sort of that's what works with you?
It's now intentional.
Yeah.
It's now intentional. It wasn't the reason I used the headphones at the beginning is because when I first started doing music videos, I just couldn't zone. I couldn't zone and perform when there was people around and watching, or people going, what's going on there? I just couldn't do it. And, you know, the first music video I ever did was in Indonesia. And you can tell watching the video that I'm just a bit awkward. The second video, Bored of Love, I was just like, I need to just put my headphones in. And then suddenly I could like zone out.
Yeah.
I could just zone everyone out. And I just felt like I performed a lot better. And then the dungarees, I mean, I started wearing them just a bit of a joke, really. And then I've just worn them ever since.
I mean, my favorite video is definitely the Bored of Love one, but you seem really like in your element, like I don't know, just like with the hand movements and how, I don't know, you kind of dance and things like that.
Yeah, I think that was it. I just got into the zone and I felt more comfortable, and we were 10 minutes from my house, so it just felt more me. It just felt real, you know. So I wasn't embarrassed to just go for it, you know.
Okay. Do you ever feel like embarrassed as a performer, or do you think you're sort of more? Think you're quite like self-confident or anything like that?
As a performer, I mean, I've been doing every gig imaginable since I was 11.
Okay.
So I've played in everything, like I said, from the O2 Arena to someone's conservatory in Barnsley, you know, to like 20 people. I've literally played every gig imaginable in the country.
Okay.
And I've got all the mistakes hopefully out. Well, I haven't, but I feel like I've made every mistake possible. So yeah.
Okay. So you think you've developed like a sort of thick skin in a way, because the music that you're putting out there is quite high energy, and it requires you to have quite a lot of like personality and to have, you know, to be entertaining. So I suppose that's quite a lot of demands on one person in a way.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like that's who, if I was to go on a stage, obviously I can't go on stage right now because of the virus, but if I was to go on stage right now, that's who I am, that's who I'd be, that's when I go on stage, that's when in between songs, that's who I am, you know. I'm not gonna go on stage and talk about how this song moved me so much and it's about I'm just not gonna do that. I'm gonna take the piss out of myself and then run around and jump around. That's what I do, you know.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of going on stages, have any plans for the future, as in like EP, album, touring, collaborations?
Well, the main thing for me now, because I mean, there's no point making plans about live yet. It's going to be constantly just putting out as much music as possible. I don't think. Well, I'm not going to put out an album for a long time. It's going to be just single, probably for the next 10, at least 10 songs.
Yeah.
But that's okay because I'm all in house. I can do it here, so I don't have to outsource to anyone. I can just make a single, and if it's good enough, put it out. You know, so it's quite empowering, really, that I can just make a song and just put it out.
Yeah, does it take you to do a song? Is it like a week, for example?
Bored of Love took me, I mean, just to mix it took me 2 weeks.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Just to mix it. To write it probably took me 2 days. 2 days to produce. Yeah, it probably took me 3 or 4 weeks. But then, you know, Live for the Weekend took me 8 hours.
Yeah, like a favourite song or anything that you've written?
Well, yes, I have a song coming out on this Friday, that I haven't like announced yet.
Okay.
Which is called I Like You But I Love Her. And
nice. Okay.
Yeah, and it's very much like Bored of Love. It's very brutally honest.
Yeah.
And I'm quite frightened about releasing it, really, but that's probably my favourite so far. So if anyone's listening or watching this, go check it out. It'll be out by the time this comes out, so maybe check it out.
Across campus, online, and on 12:51 AM. This is your student radio station.